Casper Dennis here for Submission Radio. We're standing here with the one and only Jessica UFC bantamweight. She'll be fighting Miesha Tate. How has your trip been so far in Australia? We see you've been petting lots of wildlife.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I got a chance to go meet kangaroo, koalas, see a little bit of the city and go shopping. It's been remarkable. I mean, some people will never get to come to Australia, and I'm here right now, with the UFC, living it up and meeting everybody. It's been amazing.
That's right. You know they're violent, right? The kangaroos?
What's funny is we saw some of them fighting, but they were super nice. Like, I was petting one that had like a baby in it, and everyone's like, feed the baby. And I was like, you're crazy. The thing will sucker punch me right in the face. I'm not getting anywhere near the baby.
So kangaroos like Jessica. It's a thing that we learn. We learn something new every day. Now, Jessica, what people may not know about you is, I want to go back in time. Let's go in the time machine. Let's go back in time. When you were 16, a drunk driver hit you with the car, hurt you, got some significant injuries. Among them were you were bedridden, you suffered a broken back and other injuries. When you were lying in there recovering, did a thought ever cross your mind that one day I'm going to be an MMA fighter?
You know what, MMA, it was never about MMA, but I knew then I had a purpose. Like, I think when something that crazy happens to you at such a young age, you go through a reflection process, and you almost, you think about life differently, you look at life differently, you appreciate it more. And I felt like, God wanted me here, or something wanted me here to do something bigger and to be someone bigger.
Do an interview with us.
World. Yes, yeah. That's why I'm here, guys. That's exactly it. So I feel like there's something out in this world that I'm supposed to accomplish, and I genuinely believe I'm the purpose of the UFC to be the next champion.
It's good that you feel like this now, but obviously in 2003 you had another back injury. You were sidelined for a very long time. Was this another moment in your career or in your life where you thought, I might not fight in MMA again, I might have to hang the gloves up?
I did. I had a pretty bad back injury, and I have some amazing doctors that took really good care of me, and I mean there's no issues now. And yet again, I've always been the type of person that believed in just good energy and being out there, like the laws of attraction. I genuinely believe in them, and I feel like if you put good energy out there, and it's what I've always wanted, then I'm going to accomplish it. So no, I've never been really scared of not being able to do it.
Now let's speak about accomplishing great things. A lot of people felt like you should have gotten the title shot with Ronda Rousey. Unfortunately, you bet your career got it. You got Miesha Tate instead. Reaction when you found that out? Were you disappointed when you found out you weren't fighting Ronda next?
Well, Dana is an awesome man. He told me to my face that I wasn't going to be getting the chance. Well, actually said to me first, he goes, "Please don't punch me," because in LA I said that I was going to punch someone if I didn't get that shot, because it makes sense. I make sense. I do. Regardless of what others may think, I make sense next best. And so anyways, when we were in Austin, me, Ronda, and Dana, he took me aside and told me, and he goes, we're going to put you up against Miesha. And I said, whatever, plug and play, baby. Like, whoever you put in front of me, I'm going to fight.
Did you punch him?
I gave him a really dirty look, and then he pinky promised me that I would get my chance.
Before we talk about that chance in you fighting Miesha, let's talk about this matchup. Ronda Rousey, Betch Correa. Are you giving Betch a chance? Do you think, I know obviously you want to beat Ronda Rousey, do you think she has the potential to beat Ronda Rousey?
I remember, it's fighting, you guys. Anything is possible. The craziest of craziest things have happened inside that cage, and fights have been finished at the most weirdest ways. So, do I think it's possible that Betcha could win? Yes, I do. Do I think Ronda's going to win? I'm favoring more towards it, and I think I favor it more towards it because I want to be the one to dethrone the champion. I want to be that person, and why wouldn't I want to be that person? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I want to go down the history books? Why wouldn't I want to be the one to be that one that it's like almost like lets an empire fall, and get that a chance to rebuild and just be something bigger?
Well, speaking of somebody who's tried to do that, Miesha Tate, she's going to be your next opponent. Looking at Miesha in this matchup, what would you say her advantages are over her?
You know what? I think that me and her are very similar in a lot of ways. I think we've both been in the sport for a long time. I think that we both aspire to be bigger in this sport, and I think that she's made comments multiple times about being able to be a flyweight, and obviously me once being a flyweight. I think that that's something we have in common, but first and foremost, I don't want to give out my game plan, but
we won't tell anyone. It's between us.
I think I'm better. I shouldn't say I think. I know I'm better everywhere everywhere it goes. Striking, cage work, ground, everything. I think that people think because the Alexis Davis fight, and let's remember that Alexis didn't do anything to me in that second round of that fight. She held me down. There was no submissions, and I mean a high level submission artist should have been able to do something to me. So I think I was doing good at neutralizing, but that makes people think I have no ground game. So, which is okay. It's kind of like you don't know. So it's like my secret weapon.
Now, Miesha Tate's talking already about a possible third fight with Ronda Rousey. That's what she wants. Do you think she's overlooking you at all in the way that she's already talking about that future matchup? Yes and no. I think that she knows that I'm a lot tougher than she wants to admit, and I think that that's why she's not saying that, because I don't think she wants people to think she's weak. So I think that's why she's pushing and talking about the Ronda Rousey fight and that she's done this and she's done that and how she's been the one that's been the closest. Well, she's also the one that lost the most against Ronda. So if we want to keep tallying up things, I think we can keep adding some tallies in that in that book, but. If she does look past me, she's going to be sadly mistaken, just like the other ones that have.
Well, speaking of Ronda Rousey, you've been vocal in saying that you will be the person that dethrones Ronda. What is it about this matchup that you feel like you have an advantage in? What gives you so much what gives you so much faith in the fact that you're going to beat her?
You know what is so amazing is that Ronda is the best at what she does, and I'm the best at what I do. And we both, you take two of the best in the sport. You got one of the best strikers, and we're not talking just punching. We're talking kicking. We're talking all that. And then you take the best submission, artist and the champion, and you put that together, fireworks are going to happen. And I think that a lot of people that have fought her previously have shown no conviction, and they show no conviction to a game plan. They didn't stick to anything, and they've lost it halfway through the fight or maybe even in the first round. And I think that I can show that.
The word conviction, this is at least the second time you've used it today. You said it multiple times at the Q&A and about women possibly not being there mentally. I think a lot of women have said the same thing. Kat Zingano comes to mind, and they often say, look, I'm not going to fall before Ronda Rousey. I'm not going to get eaten up by the mental game. What makes you so different? What makes you think that you won't get to that point once the fight comes?
Let's just say a very very bad childhood made me, it was almost like, I'm a samurai, and it beat me up for so many years that finally when it's time for me to go to battle, I'm extremely sharp. And I think that because of the life that I lived previously to, people knowing who I am is, everyone knows Jessica, the MMA fighter. You don't know my whole story, and that's okay. I don't need everyone to know my story, but just know that I bring something to the cage that not other females can bring, and that is my conviction. And my conviction comes from past experience that other people didn't live. I did.
And obviously there's a certain scenario in your mind. You see yourself beating Ronda. Could you share with us just one way in your mind that you think you could beat her when the matchup comes together?
You know what? I think that me and Ronda are going to fight. I think that you're going to see two champions fighting. I think you're going to see two top-level women fighting, and I think the fight could be finished. It could be finished. It could go to decision. But you're going to see, like I said earlier with Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, I felt like they didn't fight. I felt the same way about Anderson, Silva, and Nick Diaz. I felt like you have two of the best in the world. Why was no one bleeding? Why was there no craziness? Why wasn't there oh my gosh, I want the fans to see a fight between me and the champion and be like, it was a fight you'll never forget. It was something that was amazing. It was something out of this world that people are going to talk about forever. Just like they've talked about her arm bars, they're going to talk about that moment when Jessica and the champion, it be Ronda Rousey, be it Betcha, be it whoever, no matter what happens, they're going to say, I remember the day that Jessica won the UFC title.
One of the final questions, and speaking of fights that people have been talking about forever, Chris Cyborg, it's a name that gets brought up a lot. You mentioned today at the Q&A that you find it a little bit annoying that their names are always sort of interlocked, and you think that, I want to get your thoughts. Do you think that if Cyborg can't make 135, they should just stop talking about this fight?
Yes, I've been very vocal about it before, and nothing against Cyborg by any means, but until you make 135, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. That's like me sitting there being like, yeah, I'm gonna go to 115 to do this. Well, until I do it, it's just talk. Talk is cheap in the sport. You can't talk a lot and then not put up, because if you do, the fans in the industry will just suck you dry and get rid of you and continue on with life. So until she makes 35, I don't want to hear anything else about it.
Now, just to round everything off, Jessica, give us the official prediction. The Miesha Tate fight is a ways away, but we want to hear it from you first. How are you planning on beating her? How do you see this going down?
Well, my birthday is 2 days after the fight, so I'm definitely going to give myself a fantastic present. So we're definitely going for that 50,000, bonus there. But, if she's lucky, I'll stop it early.
Awesome. Jessica, thank you so much for your time. Good luck in the fight.
Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you having me on.